Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Zishan Rizvi, Leadership Wala from Rehan IT Sustaining Institute, Batch 21. Today, I have an opportunity to discuss with ChatGPT about how to develop effective public speaking skills. Hey, good morning, GPT.
Good morning, Zaishan. I'm really glad you're taking this step and I'm excited to help you explore public speaking. So just let me know what you'd like to unpack first, whether it's mindset, preparation, or something else, and we'll break it down.
All right. So, my first question is, what is the biggest fear that holds people back from speaking in public?
That's a really common one. The biggest fear tends to be the fear of being judged or making a mistake in front of others. People worry about forgetting their words, being awkward, or just not being taken seriously. Once you recognize that fear, though, you can start building strategies to reframe it, like focusing on your message, not perfection.
And how can we transform nervousness into confidence uh, before stepping on stage?
That's a great question. A lot of it is about shifting your focus. Before you go on, practice some deep breathing. Slow, steady breaths help calm your body. Also, visualize yourself succeeding. Imagine the speech going well. And remind yourself that you've prepared. You know your content, and the audience wants you to succeed.
Do great speakers rely more on talent or practice? Why?
It's really more about practice than raw talent. Even natural speakers hone their skills over time through repetition, feedback, and deliberate practice. Talent might give someone a head start, but it's consistent effort that really turns a speaker into a great one.
What limiting beliefs about public speaking should we let go of today?
A big one to let go of is the idea that you have to be perfect or that mistakes will ruin you. Also, ditch the belief that you need to be born a natural. Public speaking is a skill you can grow. Once you release those constraints, you open yourself up to progress.
All right. How does your mindset shape your delivery and audience connection?
Your mindset really sets the tone. If you believe you have something valuable to share, that confidence comes through in your voice and body pack language. On the flip side, a fixed or negative mindset can make you seem closed off or hesitant. So, when you cultivate a growth mindset, you stay open, adaptable, and more connected to your audience.
What are the key elements of a well structured speech?
A strong structure usually has three parts: a clear introduction that grabs attention, a well organized body with key points and smooth transitions, and a strong conclusion that reinforces your message and calls your audience to action. Keep it simple and stick to a core message.
Awesome. And how much preparation is enough before presentation?
It depends on the length and complexity, but a good rule is to rehearse until you feel confident, not just memorized, but comfortable with the flow. Ideally, practice several times out loud, get feedback if you can, and leave yourself a little time for a final review before you step up.
Should speakers memorize their speech or focus on key points?
I'd recommend yeah, exactly. When you know your main points, it gives you flexibility. You can speak naturally, adjust to your audience, and if you forget a line, you can still flow smoothly. Memorization can make you stiff, so keep it flexible and grounded in those key messages.
All right. And how can storytelling make your message more memorable?
Storytelling is powerful because it taps into emotions and imagery. When you share a personal or vivid story, people relate to it. They remember how it made them feel. So, weaving a relevant story into your speech makes your message stick far longer than facts alone.
Excellent. And what techniques help simplify complex ideas for any audience?
One great technique is using analogies, comparing a complex idea to something familiar. Also, break concepts down into smaller steps, use visuals or examples, and avoid jargon. If your audience can connect the dots with something they already know, the complex idea becomes much easier to grasp.
How do you quickly build a rapport with your audience?
Absolutely. One of the quickest ways is to be genuinely relatable. Start with a common experience or a shared value. Ask a question that taps into their concerns, or briefly share a personal story. When they see you as a person, not just a speaker, that connection forms fast.
And what are the most effective ways to keep listeners engaged throughout?
A few key ways of varying your vocal tone and pace to keep things dynamic, using pauses to let key points sink in, and asking rhetorical questions or inviting reflection. Also, weave in occasional audience interaction, like a quick poll or a show of hands, so they stay active in the experience.
How important is understanding your audience before speaking?
It's absolutely. Yeah, exactly. When you understand your audience, like their interests, their knowledge level, and what they care about, you can tailor your language, examples, and even the tone to really resonate. That connection makes your message far more impactful.
And what role do you questions and interaction play in a great speech?
They're really powerful because they invite the audience to participate mentally. Questions get them thinking. Exactly. It keeps them engaged and invested. When you ask a question, it sparks curiosity. And when you invite interaction, like a show of hands or a brief discussion, you make them feel like active participants, not just passive listeners.
And how can you adapt your message for different audience on the spot?
A great way is to stay flexible. You can keep your core message the same, but adjust examples, language, or references to fit their context. Stay attuned to their reactions. If they seem confused or bored, tweak your examples or simplify on the fly.
How much impact does body language have compared to words?
It has a huge impact, often even more than the words themselves. Your posture, gestures, and eye contact can either reinforce your confidence or undermine it. When your body language aligns with your message, it amplifies trust and engagement.
And what are the most common mistakes speakers make with voice and tone?
A big one is speaking in a monotone, no variation in pitch or pace, which can make them sound flat and disengaging. Also, speaking too fast or too softly can lose the audience. The key is varying your tone, using pauses for emphasis, and making sure your volume is strong and clear.
All right. How can pauses and silence improve your delivery?
Pauses are incredibly powerful because they give your audience time to absorb what you just said. They build anticipation, add emphasis, and help you regain composure if you need a moment. Just a few well placed pauses can make your delivery feel far more intentional and clear.
And what techniques can help you sound more natural and authentic?
One big technique is to practice conversational pacing. Speak like you would to a friend, not just reciting from a script. Also, incorporate natural gestures and movement and let your personality come through. The more you relax into it, the more authentic you'll sound.
And how can you use eye contact effectively in both live and virtual settings?
In a live setting, scan the room and hold eye contact with different people for a few seconds each. This makes everyone feel seen. In virtual settings, look directly at the camera. This mimics eye contact. And if you're on a video call, occasionally glance at participants' faces so they know you're engaged with them.
All right. And how can feedback accelerate your public speaking growth?
Feedback is essential because it gives you a mirror on your blind spots, things you might not notice yourself. When you get specific, constructive feedback, you can adjust your delivery, pacing, and content. Over time, that kind of refinement turns good speakers into really great speakers.
What daily habits can help improve speaking skills over time?
Daily habits like practicing out loud, even just a few minutes a day, really help. Recording yourself so you can listen back, reading aloud to build comfort, and even just staying curious, watching great speakers, mimicking their techniques, all of that adds up over time.
Okay. Who are some speakers you admire, and what can you learn from them?
I really admire speakers like Brené Brown. She's so authentic and vulnerable, and that builds a deep connection. I also look to Barack Obama. He uses a measured pace and powerful pauses. From them, I learned the importance of sincerity, pacing, and connecting emotionally with the audience.
And how can recording yourself help identify areas of improvement?
When you record yourself, you get to see and hear things you miss in the moment, like filler words, distracting gestures, or pacing issues. Once you notice them, you can consciously adjust, like slowing down, pausing, or cutting out those filler words, so your delivery becomes much tighter.
Awesome. And what is one actionable step you can take today to become a better speaker?
I'd say pick a short segment, maybe a 1 or 2 minute talk, and record yourself delivering it today. Then watch it with a critical but kind eye. Identify one small area, like pace or vocal variety, and commit to improving that in your next practice.
Excellent. Thank you very much, GPT. It was really a wonderful session, and you contributed an excellent amount of valuable information to me and to my audience. And hopefully, I will touch base with you again with some new questions, new subjects. Until then, let me say goodbye. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.
You're very welcome, Zayshan. I'm really glad I could help, and I'm excited for you as you keep growing with your speaking. Feel free to reach out anytime. Have a fantastic day and take care.